Hello and welcome to the ReliableDR video series. In this video we're going to be having a quick look at what's new in version 3.3 of the product. So there's a few key things really that are new in the product. The main ones being we are now support the ability to install ReliableDR on a Windows Server 2012 or 2012 R2. So the new supported install platforms are 2008 R2 with either no service pack or service pack 1 and 2012 and 2012 R2. Now if you are going to install on Windows 2012 either of the versions, then you need to install the prerequisites manually. So this is things like .NET and IIS. Now the instructions for that are in the installation and configuration guide. There's also a video to show you exactly what you need to do. But once you've done that, you just run the installer as you would any other time. We've made some changes on the array-based replication. So we've added HP's 3PAR. We've enhanced our Nimble storage adapter so that we now support full failover and failback. We've removed support for the Dell EqualLogic and we've removed support for the HP EVA. Now obviously if you've got either of those storage arrays, you could still do ReliableDR's own replication. You could use the PhD virtual certified replica if you're using the backup product as well. Now one of the big things that we were asked for was to be able to make some changes to our scheduling and testing system. So that's what we've done. You could now, using ReliableDR's own inbuilt replication, do a copy and not test on one schedule. You could then at another time do a replication and a test. So we can schedule the start and stop for either of these. So what you might want to do is do a replication every hour throughout the day. So you might schedule that between, say, 1 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock at night. And then at 10 o'clock at night, you might want to do a replication with a full test of all the virtual machines. So you only spin those machines up once a day, but you're actually replicating every hour. So that's how you could do that. So you effectively set up two different scheduled jobs. Now, the scheduled start and end times is available for all of our ways of replication. So, all of our job schedules. So whether it's array-based, using the PhD replica side of it, or the ReliableDR. The next things that we've done are to do with reporting enhancements. Now I've got a quick screenshot at the end of this video that I'll show you on this, but basically we make it now so that you can alter the tabs very, very easily and you get a bit more reporting information on the standard compliance report. Plus we've included a jobs report which breaks down the job for whichever ones you want into the different servers, the tests, everything. And again, I've got a screenshot of that for you. Now we've also built in some of our Linux tests again. So we obviously had all of our tests for the Windows servers, but we've built back in things like the MySQL, the Apache, as well as all the other pieces that we've already had in there. There's a significant change with regards to licensing. Now, what we have as well is what we call an MSP pay-per-use reporting engine in there. So this is the key one. So what happens is PhD Virtual has its own licensing server. This virtual machine, so where you've installed it, will need to communicate to that server. So what it will do every month, it will update PhD with the details about the licenses that are being used and the licensing server, so the ReliableDR server. And it'll do that regardless, or it will try to. But if you've got the MSP model, of course, your machine's going to have internet access anyway. So that will send us the information. If that license or other licenses have the internet connectivity, we can then make changes to those licenses if need be. So if you purchase additional licenses, we can update the license count remotely as it checks in. Also, for the pay-per-use licensing, all the reporting and auditing and billing can be done from the back end then. So really that's a lot of the major key differences. There's obviously some little bug fixes and some minor changes, but as you can see here, this is a screenshot of the compliance dashboard. So when you log in, so exactly as you had before, you've got all your charts and things down the one side, but now when you look in the middle where the compliance report is, we used to just report on a specific job. So it might be that HR Purse app, which is just the name of the job. Now that one has about 7 or 8 different virtual machines in there. Now we used to just report it at the top job level, which we do, but then if you open that up now, you can see each individual machine. So if you've maybe got them on different schedules, but also what's the recovery time for that particular machine? So when you need to bring back that machine. Now the certified recovery point actual and recovery point actual are different. On this example, I'm starting mine up, I'm running everything on the one schedule, but one schedule will tell you when you've done your replication, and the other one will tell you when you've done a replication and test. So that's the differences. So your last replication or your last certified, in other words, we've started the VMs up, we know they all work. But as per usual, you've got your warnings once you're outside your service level agreements that you've put in. You can also edit the RTO and RPO directly from this screen now. So if you highlight one of the items, you'll get the edit, which is right next to the actions, and you can edit your settings from there. Just the last screen. As I said, I wanted to just show you the job reports. So this is the job report that's been exported. Now obviously it's a multi-page report, but I can't get that many on the slide for you here. But just to give you an idea, we've got replication type. So this is storage-based replication, so using the array base. Location is, well, things are at the primary site. The status is normal, so it's not in a failover. Tells you what your primary vCenter is and your secondary vCenter. Now I've used the same one for both because I run with a single vCenter. It tells you your RPO, your RTO, successful tests, warning tests, failed tests. Gives you all of those figures. And then it breaks down your individual VMs. So as you can see, that VM dev database 1, I'm not going to go through every piece, but it actually shows you the tests that were run against that virtual machine. So in this case, I'm just running one test, which is a ping host DC1, and its critical status is false. Now, one other thing that we've added in to do with the virtual machines themselves is the ability to say whether a VM is critical or not. We used to do this just for the tests, but now you can say it's a critical VM. So if a VM failed in previous versions, it would class the whole test as a failure. Now you can say that isn't a critical VM, and so if it fails, it'll just put a warning up and tell you, but it will allow everything to carry on. So what we had for the tests has now been extended to the virtual machines themselves. So if you would like to have a closer look at this, or if you want to get the upgraded product, just log on to the PhD virtual website and download it. Now to do an upgrade, obviously from 3.2 you just run the installer over the top. If you want to do a new install, you can do a new install. If you're going from previous versions, you need to let us know so we can make sure you've got the correct licensing. But it will upgrade 3.1 and 3.2 licenses quite happily. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in another video.